All right, welcome back to the Beast Game podcast. This is going to be a review for All Eyez on Me, which is a biopic about Tupac. It is directed by Benny Boom. He's mostly known for music videos. He has directed a few low-budget feature films. The screenplay is by Jeremy Half, Eddie Gonzalez, and Stephen Batagorian. It stars Demetrius Shipp as Tupac Shakur, Denai Guerrera as Afeni Shakur, and Kat Graham as Jada Pinkett. The synopsis tells the true and untold story of the prolific rapper, actor, poet, and activist Tupac Shakur. So the movie starts off with some civil rights era political recordings, then it goes to a Tupac concert, and then it goes into an interview. The interview is during the Tupac stint in the Clinton Correctional Facility in New York. The interviewer asks him about his life and his upbringing. It touches on his upbringing, his mom being a political prisoner, and his family being hunted by the FBI. It details, in brief, his time in the Bronx, Baltimore, and Oakland. So, my main issues with this movie are that it deserved a better director and a better screenplay. They should have gotten a more capable director. John Singleton was attached to this movie at some point, but his version never got off the ground. This movie needed an F. Gary Gray, Antoine Fuqua, the Hughes brothers, that they would have probably designed a better movie.
What was it in particular about this movie if it was a director issue?
My issues kind of stem to the fact that it felt really TV movie-ish. Feels like a VH1 behind the music reenactment rather than a movie. And it's not until the later third of the movie where it begins to feel like a movie. Again, this movie deserves a much better director than Benny Boom. And he is okay doing music videos.
He's a music video guy with Puff Daddy.
Yeah. With this, his directing, it feels like a stage play or something. That's how it plays out. So someone is told to come into the scene, hit your mark, say your lines, and then exit. And then the camera kind of lingers on a little too much. And there's other scenes where the camera or the scene, the way that is edited, that it is very abrupt and short. So it never really feels cohesive as a actual film. It feels like it is a TV movie. It just says like, hey, well, this happened to Tupac, this happened to Tupac, this happened to Tupac. All right, bang. And then you're left with the rest of the movie. The movie just jumps around too much. So you have this thing where he is getting interviewed. The interviewer might ask a question. Tupac responds. It plays out on screen and then repeat. Straight Outta Compton feels like a movie. This just feels like a TV movie, like the New Edition movie that came on not too long ago feels like a good movie compared to this one.
I'm surprised that you're saying it's that bad. It makes me want to check out the movie myself, mainly because there was a lot of hype to this movie. I mean,
I'm not saying it's like terrible. I am saying that you can tell that there's a problem with the directing. So Demetrius Shipp, the person that plays Tupac, his mannerisms, his tone, his body posture, all of it says Tupac. And
oh yeah, definitely. I had to take a second look. I was like, is that him?
For what he accomplishes in this movie, deserves that he be in a better film than this. And also the person that plays Suge Knight, who is Dominic Santana, and there's also a person named Keith Robinson that plays Tupac's manager throughout the movie. They are the best things about this movie. I'm not sure if you know who Mano is. He needs some acting lessons. The person that played...
Really that bad?
Yeah. The person that plays Snoop, he was actually pretty good. The person that got to play Dr. Dre looked nothing like Dre. I'm not sure if that was the reasons that they did not want to get sued. That's the reason why Dr. Dre doesn't look like Dr. Dre in a movie, or at least some approximation to him. It looks like just a dude that they had put on a hat and says, yeah.
Right.
The person that plays Snoop is good. The person that they had to play Daz, also good, looks like him. It was also good to have Jamal Woolard, who played Biggie in a Notorious movie, in there, but it feels like every actress or actor is playing a caricature of the person that they're portraying. Again, the script and the directing are the problem with this movie.
How's the chemistry in between the characters? I mean, because Tupac, when we think of him as an innovator, kind of a revolutionary person. I mean, did they even portray his impact with other characters in the society, or no?
Well, what happens is that you have some background with his mother, and his mother was a political prisoner. The sense that you're supposed to get is that, well, hey, all these things that his mother being chased by the FBI, his stepfather being chased by the FBI, that all these things led up to him kind of being Tupac. But you never get that sense in the movie. Or at least I didn't get it. The problem with that is because the movie jumps around so much, you never get the sense that, hey, well, this moment is supposed to be pivotal in his life. You never get that. Or his relationship with Jada Pinkett, which I know that at some point she has some issues about the movie. But,
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, but you never get that sense that, hey, this relationship was supposed to be more than what it does. As I said before, that the later third of the movie is the best part of the movie. So that's when Tupac allegedly gets set up and shot, and then he goes to jail, and then it leads into the death row angle. So one of the things that it fails to touch on is the issues that he had with Biggie. It tries to allude to all that, but it never really makes its case. It never says, this is what Tupac was thinking. This is why Tupac did the things that he did to Biggie. It goes back to the directing. It goes back to the script. Because again, it's like, well, hey, you know Tupac went to jail. All right, there's Tupac going to jail. You know Tupac made conscious songs. All right, there you go. That's what happens. If you look at a VH1 Behind the Music or like some type of biography about Tupac, I think you might get more out of that than you would this movie. It felt like they did not have enough source material to really pull from in order to move this movie forward. It feels like a greatest hits movie. Anything that was in the news, anything that was popular about Tupac, those are the things that the movie chose to focus on. And I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. It is watchable. It is enjoyable to see Demetrius Shipp play Tupac. At points, you feel like he's giving it his all, but what's happening behind the camera is not the best production possible.
That makes it sound like it should have gone like straight to TBS. I would think that, especially of a person of his character and influence, that they would have been able to get the role.
Well, they nailed the casting for Tupac, so the casting is not the problem. The problem is just the directing, that at least one iteration of it where John Singleton was supposed to direct it, and I think he might have done a better job. I think he might have been more insightful with how moments in Tupac's life affected his demeanor as life went on. With Benny Boom, you have concert scene, fake music video inside of the movie, some interview scene, concert scene, some scene with his mom, and that's kind of like the flow of the movie.
Yeah, that sounds a little off.
And again, it's not terrible, but if you saw something like Notorious, it is on that level. It is not on the level of Straight Outta Compton. It is not possible. So, as a score, I'm giving this movie a 6.5. It has some redeemable
6.5.
qualities. Yes, it has some redeemable qualities, mainly the acting. The direction of the movie and the script are probably the worst aspects about this movie. Again, Tupac deserved a better movie. He did not get one. Just like the Biggie movie, which probably could have been done a lot better. Anthony Mackie playing Tupac, not a good idea. The Notorious movie could have been a better movie. It exists, but do people go back and revisit it like they would revisit Straight Outta Compton? No. Let's just end it on that. That's the Beast Game Podcast. You can find more of our podcasts at beastgame.com, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Twitter, and YouTube. If you would like to submit a reader question or comment, you can do so at submissions@beastgame.email. West Side.
He said West Side.